everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the Highway to Hell event on consoles in which the Creeper, Nobend Brothers, Marilith, and Hellcat are all added to the game. You guys have these at a slightly reduced glory price, but you're going to be getting like 3 to 4 every single week probably for now on until you guys get caught up to the PC mobile version of the game. So, let's get into these. First off, the first two are completely useless. Creeper is a very weak common. All it does is disease an enemy whenever it deals some damage to them. It is the only troop in the entire game that has Plague Touch though, which is places disease whenever it does skull damage. Unfortunately, disease is one of the worst status effects currently in the game as far as how fairly useless it is. So it's basically like half a silence in its current state. So it's not really used that much by anything, and this is pretty much a unneeded troop ever. You wouldn't need to buy this pack. Nobend Brothers is also fairly weak. You never see him in all goblin teams, which is of course pretty much the only place he would ever be good at. There's two main reasons for this, or really actually one main reason. As you can see on his abilities, he has three things that he can do. He's pretty random in that. Actually, it is two things. One is how random he is. The second thing is he only has one thing that scales off of magic, and that is the second one, which is deal damage to all enemies. His other two do not scale off of magic at all. His 4 attack reduction to everything, or his 6 gem explodes. Like if you're like very early on in the game, like if you're a console player who just started within like the last week or two, I would say, or maybe even the last month, I would say yes, getting a Nobend Brother may be fine. Maybe you can incorporating into a goblin team in some way, an all goblin team. But other than that, you really don't want to use this much further, because the fact of how random it is, combined with the fact that it doesn't scale off of 2 of them, makes it extremely weak, and pretty much any other goblin from the kingdom tends to be stronger than it. Even something like Goblin King, or literally any other goblin would work better than the Nobend Brothers. Even though it is the highest rarity goblin, it's other than Goblin King, it is actually pretty much the worst one. Its traits are okay. Jinx and Agile actually are decent, but it has Fire Heart, which is any of the hearts are actually the worst traits ever. So overall, it's really not worth it trading. You might want to get a couple though if you really wanted the lava trait stones. Of course, those brown reds, you might use that for Shegra, for Yarrow Fire Mantle, for something else. Who knows? That might be the only reason you would buy this pack. Marilith and Hellcat, on the other hand, though, are extremely good, and surprisingly extremely good together. Marilith is one of the strongest troops in the entire game early on in the game, and scales exceptionally well throughout the entire game, but particularly early on she's good because at all levels, at all ascension, at all everything, she deals 6 damage to all enemies, 6 true damage at that. So she can actually keep looping this. She destroys 21 gems and gains 6 attack as well. Both the 6 true damage and the 6 attack are static, so regardless of its magic, leveling, or anything like that, it's still going to be gaining that per turn. Per cast, sorry. But yeah, the only thing that scales off of her magic is the gem destroy that she has, which if you get like a magic buff on her with Brian the Lucky or some kind of other troop, even Soothsayer or something, Mad Prophet, other things, you can start getting a huge amount of destroy on the board, maybe even the entire board. But even at a lower, like something lower like 21 gems, she's still very strong. She also has insanely good traits, particularly Siege and Firelink. One other thing to note about her is she has the highest attack in the entire game, or at least tied at it. Both War and Marilith are tied at the highest base attack in the entire game. This is slightly bad for her because that means she does have lower armor and HP, but she does have, as far as attack is concerned, tied at the highest, and she even gets 2 more from her Siege trait. So definitely a very strong attack troop. Not to mention she even gains more attack from her ability. Normally you see her in 2nd or 3rd slot though. She's used mainly, even though she has insane attack, she is used more often as a true damager than as a skull spammer, mainly because of how flimsy she is due to her low armor and HP. And Hellcat, which is of course very good with her. This is one of the transforms. Eventually consoles, you guys will have every single transform, and this is just another one. The transform is selected mana color to red, which is insane board control and mana generation for any team that uses red, and it deals some damage to a random enemy on top of that as well. It also has a fairly high attack, and as far as traits are concerned, it's a little bit low. It isn't epic, so you could actually get away with not trading it at all and it would still be fine. Use it more as a support troop than an offensive troop anyways. And similar to Marilith, you would normally use this as a second or third troop. The only difference is you would use this mainly as board control and to get your entire team with red mana. So let's get into a couple teams now. We have 3 teams built. Well, let me just take this tribute. I can't not take the tribute. Come on, 5 or higher. But anyways, we're gonna show some oh, come on, 3. That's pretty bad for having every kingdom. But anyways, we're gonna be showing 3 teams. One with Marilith, one with Hellcat, and one with neither. I mean, one with both. Let me actually repick this though. The first team we're gonna be showing is a little bad against freeze. So I do want to find a team that really is not using the freeze mechanic. So let's get into this first one. Yarrow, Fire Mantle, Hellcat, Alchemist, Moloch. This only uses 4 different colors, but it is surprisingly insanely good. We have the yellow purple just to make sure we can get our Hellcat up a lot quicker. Actually, that might be better on yellow red now that I'm thinking of it. Let me see. It might have actually been yellow red and it didn't save earlier. Let me see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would want to go yellow red or something on this, because you would actually could even go double red. Let's just go double red. Let's go all out. The main reason for this is we have a lot of red already. We have Hellcat. We have Hellcat with the spawning of red. We have Alchemist for the +1 fire link. We have Moloch for the +1 fire link. We have Giro Fire Mantle, who will be creating more reds. And there's a lot that we can do with all of this. So as long as we can start getting it looping, it's going to be really good. We do want to focus on our Hellcat first, which is why you might want to go with a yellow-purple banner, but he's going to get that anyways if he gets surges. So we don't have to worry about that too much. He's also the only thing on the team that even uses purple, so we don't need to focus it down too hard. So right here, there's only 1 red on the entire board, but we are getting so much from it that we might as well take it anytime that we see it. Of course, we're not using blue or green. So we will have to not take any of those if we can try avoiding them. We did just get some purple, though it was not surge. I heard the surge noise, but it wasn't from the correct thing. He does have double Bomba up right now, which is a lot of damage. It's currently not on consoles, but it is pretty much like a... Actually, it's not really like any troop. It kills itself and then deals damage to everything. Probably won't be on consoles probably for a month or 2. But let's see. We really need brown or... oh, come on. I guess we have to give it green. We need brown or red really badly, or even yellow or purple. Any of the colors that we use on this team, we need it like right now just so we can start getting the looping going. Because once we start getting a little bit of loop, this team does insanely well. Okay, so he's going to get 2 bomb bots off. It's going to be a devastating amount of damage on us. He could even get very close to killing us with the deep borer. But that kind of is how this team is built. It goes very quick at the start and then it kind of dies off. As long as we make sure his hero does not do anything, we should be fine. That is going to miss though. Luckily, none of those colors are anything that he is using, so it's not going to be too big of a deal. He does use the red, but he'll end up killing our Yarrow right now. But we'll easily just be able to get our Hellcat and start using that. Doesn't exactly matter if we have the loop for that. What we can just do is loop between the Alchemist and the Hellcat. The Hellcat Alchemist combo is similar to the Green Seer Giant Spider you might have seen me use many times in the past. It's exactly the same thing. You just keep looping back and forth. And normally we would be triggering both Burn and Moloch's ability and just keep using Yarrow Fire Mantle. But in this instance, of course, he did die. That can happen. And we're just going to go with the other route, which is this. See if we can get an Alchemist off. And just keep looping between the two. Use Moloch if we need to. If they start getting high mana, we can just keep draining them over and over again. And of course, we'd want to aim primarily at blue and green if we can, of course, since we do not use either of those colors. We're also triggering suppression every single time, as you can see. Every single 4-pair we take, if you have a fully traded Moloch, you will be doing 1 point, or taking away 1 trait from 1 point of stat away from all of your enemies. So that'll be really good in that regard. And of course, we just keep doing this. So you just keep looping until you can't loop anymore. And similar to the Green Seer Giant Spider combo, this can go essentially endlessly with a good enough board setup, which is pretty much what we're doing right now. It might end up ending soonish, but we just keep looping back and forth, keep getting mana, shuffling mana, keep suppressing them. We'll get skulls randomly, and since we have high attack on all of them, it'll be very good. This was what we're trying for before Yarrow ended up dying, but as you can see, it works plenty fine without a Yarrow Fire Mantle in the first slot. And the main thing that makes this work is the Moloch with the Hellcat Alchemist combo is what this main team is composed of. And the only thing that you really need traded to make this team work, I would say, is Alchemist up to Firelink, which is his second trait, and a fully traded Moloch. This team does need a fully traded Moloch, unfortunately, to work. But there are many combinations that you can do if you do not have a fully traded Moloch with this kind of composition. Okay, so we have reached a point where we can't loop anymore. We can do it on red, but of course that would be a very bad idea to do this on red. So we're just going to take some purple right here, and we'll give him 1 turn. We could suppression too, but in case he takes mana, we could do even more damage because it does have a 2-to-1 ratio. We do 5 extra true damage to him if we did it right now, but if we wait, we'll do even more. So let's see, where is our extra turn? There it is, on red, and just keep it going. And of course, if we had Yarrow right now, Yarrow of course creates reds and yellows, and he would be able to cast fairly easily on this board and keep getting extra turns, which would speed up this process, which is why we use him. But as you saw, we did lose him, unfortunately, to those vicious bomb bots. I mean, I'm going to convert out the yellow right here, but simply because 1 skull will end it. I don't even think we used our Moloch ability, did we? But of course, it's kind of just there in case you need to drain. So that is how that works. So let's get into the next team. Next up, we have... We'll load. Defend, lose. No. Okay, well, let's go to this Mercy. There we go. A team built of things that console actually has. Okay, let's do a Marilith up against this. This will be a slightly interesting match because I'm worried about that Great Maw and Bow Dragon mainly. But we're using Emperor Corvash, Marilith, Miststalker, and Moloch once again. Marilith is really good if you can get a total of +3 reds. The main reason for this is she is a 12 mana, so she does have Firelink. So if you can get a couple more +1s on her, that can be very effective. She's also really good in all Daemon teams. Hellcat plus Marilith is also good. That we'll be doing that in the last team. But as you can see here, we're doing all true damage. Miststalker does true damage, Moloch does true damage, Marilith does true damage, and Emperor Corvash does true damage, all of which consoles have. So you'll be able to fill up Marilith fairly easily. We have the Firelink on our Moloch, Firelink on Marilith, and another +1 from our red, bringing it up to 6 red per match, 9 if we surge. You can also use this team in a double red if you wanted to. Move Miststalker up, and a single red surge would be all 10 of his mana if you wanted to go that route. I'm going the Marilith route simply because it has the destroy gems, and particularly if you get this up to a legendary ascension, or even if you just get it fully leveled, it will have around, I would say, probably around a 12 or higher amount of gem destroys. Of course, the more magic kingdoms and stuff you get, you'll higher it'll be, but it still gets a decent amount of gem destroys, higher than that of things like Behemoth, Autumn Imp, and other things that destroy gems. She actually has the highest possible gem destroy in the entire game, and can eventually just do all 64 of the board if she has that high of a magic from magic buffing. But let's just go through this. Let's see what we can do. Mainly we'd want to focus on getting Marilith up. That should be our main concern almost every start of the battle. She is the main mana surprisingly, she's the main mana generator of the team because her gem destroys can give mana to everything. So as long as we get a green surge here, we should be fine. There we go. And now we can start looping, or not exactly looping, but getting a lot of mana. Like you can see here, 21 destroy. You can see it's going to be 21 mana for the team, which will, with everything that we get from the cascades and everything else, is a lot of mana overall. And there he goes, giving us Moloch plenty of food. Now we don't have to worry about his Great Maul too much, since we can just drain it if we really came down to that. And of course, what we're going to do, keep getting Marilith up, and just keep spamming her until you win, pretty much, is how it works. So right here, we do have a Miststalker up, but I don't believe, I'd have to do the math. Let's see, that's 63. Is it the weakest? That is, I think it is. Let's gamble. I'm not going to do the math for all of them. I think it is. No, it wasn't. I had a feeling one of them would be lower. But normally, they're waited for the Marilith cast. You do want to try using Miststalker to try to kill. As you can see, it didn't hit the Bone Dragon there because it hits based on, when it says weakest, it hits based on whatever has the lowest armor plus HP combined. It's not based on just one of them alone. It's based on the combination of both. So we definitely should have done one more Marilith cast before doing that. I didn't realize it would hit that instead, but oh well. Still very strong, still very fast. All we have to really do now is, well, keep feeding Marilith. That's the whole premise of any Marilith team, for the most part, is just keep getting her mana, and she will destroy the enemy team. You can also see her attack is starting to get pretty high. Just off of her alone, she has 52 attack right now. And she's getting 6 every time. You can see she can get cascades sometimes. She can occasionally give the enemy team some really good moves. But for the most part, she is more beneficial with these destroys than it is a negative. And there we go. It's already over. We just used Corvash, and that's a double kill. So very powerful true damage team. Pretty much any true damage team that uses 4 true damage troops is very strong. But Marilith is like the key component to making most of those. And you can actually do that now on consoles. Since, as you can see, if we were using a different true damage there, we wouldn't really have the mana generation to be able to feed all of our troops. But because we have Marilith, she can feed literally everything just by destroying random gems on the board and hopefully getting lucky on cascades that fall from the destroyed gems. So let's do one more, and that is using both of them. Normally when you use both of them, you do want to use quite a bit of daemons. I would even say go 4 times many times. We are going 3 times in this is for the 2 attack. If you go 4 times, you get an additional +1 magic. The only problem with that is Hellcat and Marilith don't really gain excessively just from 1 magic. So we didn't really need it. Gorgotha with this many explosions also wouldn't. But we did it with Crimson Bat instead. Of course, we're going basically the true damage route again, except with a Gorgotha to tank, a Hellcat to feed the mana, and we're also going double red once again. As I said earlier, whenever you use Marilith, it is a very good idea to have +3 on her red for a total of 6 mana per red match. So that means if you take 2 reds, regardless of if they surge or not, you will get full mana on her. And you'll want something else that uses red as well, just so any of the extra mana leaks into it. And of course, we're using Crimson Bat, which is one of the strongest troops around for doing true damage, since it has the highest true damage potential overall if they have 4 troops, since it deals damage to all of them, 18 true damage on this particular one, plus it gains 16 life always. So, and you don't even need it traded at all to make it work. The only thing you would really need traded for this team is a Fire Link on Marilith, and up to Fire Link on Marilith, and maybe a fully traded Gorgotha. You could probably get away with this team without using a fully traded Gorgotha if you really wanted to, though. So let's get into it. Generally on Hellcat, you really don't need his trades. He is somewhat better with them, but he's, like you can see, he's used more in 2nd and 3rd slot. You don't use him too much as a skull damager. You can, but he's much better used as a support troop. Oh, I just gave it purple. I wasn't paying attention to everywhere where that would fall. Not too big a deal though. If it does Bone Dragon, we'll easily survive since we have a fully traded Gorgotha. That we will not survive though. We do need to kill that Bone Dragon out. I mean the Bone Dragon. The Deep Boar. I'll name it right eventually. The Great Maul is a threat, and it is only 1 mana away, which is just 1 Deep Boar cast away. So we'll take these yellows. That'll force him to take skulls. And there is a possibility with this match that we are going to lose, which is slightly depressing. Because that Great Maul is, of course, very, very strong with that instant devour. Depending on what it targets, we are dead. Oh, and it even gets the thing. Okay. Okay, it's going to Bone Dragon first, which is actually beneficial to us, since our Gorgotha will likely survive it. So his Great Maul is going to be so huge at this point that there isn't too much that we're going to be able to do to stop it. We will have to go for the Marilith. I just keep letting him take skulls, even though he's benefiting from it a little bit. And now here's the end of the line. Okay, he used Deep Boar, so the AI is being very dumb, which is good for us. We can use that right now, though I don't think I'm going to. What we can actually do is use this right there. This will make sure he takes skulls next turn. He'll take that skull. We could have done it with the brown too, but I wanted mana. And just to make sure we don't accidentally interrupt any of these skulls, I am going to use the bat before we use a Marilith, just to make sure he guaranteed takes skulls this next turn. Consoles, someone did tell me on consoles that console AI is slightly different, and the AI doesn't always take skulls. Sometimes it decides not to. I don't know exactly how it mechanically works though. Normally on PC, I always just bait out the skulls because that actually works. Like right here, he'll take. Oh no, he won't take skulls. He's gonna devour us. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, he took out Gorgotha, which is actually the best thing he could have targeted because it was pretty much already dead from all the skull spam he was doing. So we're actually in a pretty good position to win. though he does have 78 attack, so we do have to be pretty careful. Make sure he doesn't get any more attack off. We will be able to kill out that bone dragon fairly easily with this bone dragon, with Crimson Bat. Now we'll just be able to Marilith loop and get Crimson Bat up one more time, and that should pretty much be it, other than the Great Maul. But the Great Maul, as long as we have one troop left, after it devours, it's pretty easy to end up beating, since the only thing he can actually do is damage his skulls, since it won't actually have any casting ability. So now, if we can keep Marilith alive, we'll actually be able to finally utilize her high attack. Of course, she is pretty much one-shot due to how flimsy she is, so we do have to be careful about that. Also have to be careful when I take mana, because one skull, she's dead, for sure. Especially in this particular instance. Normally, she'll survive like 2 or 3 skulls, but of course, against a Great Maul that huge, that's not going to happen. I'm a little bit scared to actually use Marilith right now, because I have a feeling her destroy gems will backfire if we use it on a board with this many skulls on it. So I am kind of just trying to peck around the board and trying to not trigger anything that will give him skulls, and I think I don't have a choice. Looks like we're having to give it skulls. Oh, no, we don't. There's yellow right there. Stop suggesting me my death. Oh, okay, there's my death too. Both of them were my death. Okay, so we still have a chance here. We just need to get our Crimson Bat up. If we can get him to take something over there, that'd be nice. So we are going to take these purples. Hopefully he doesn't take the red. Hopefully he'll go for the purples instead. Oh, nope. Okay, so we will actually lose this one with one of the stronger teams too, surprisingly. We even had the counter to the Bone Dragon, but of course, a single Great Maul cast like that can be very devastating to any team. But let's see. Can we get the mana to survive? Nope. There goes that. And, oh, that's very nice, actually. If we can get one more skull, we could actually win this. Or if we can get his ability up with a surge or something. We are on +2 red, keep in mind. Even though Marilith's dead, we still have the banner. So if this surges, we can kill pretty much his whole team next turn, other than Mercy, which would be the match for us to win. Okay, we got this, I think. It depends what this deep forward does. If this gives him skulls, we lose. If it doesn't, we win. Come on, come on. Oh, that was so close. That was so very close. Okay. I'll take it that way, just to make sure it doesn't give skulls anywhere. If I did it the other way, there might have been a skull, and then I would have to waste a turn to take that skull. But right here, we'll do true damage, and all we have to do now is either cast again or do one skull, and that is over. We could still lose this, but it would have to attack us 3 times with skulls, which is pretty unlikely. It's going to get 1 at most, if even that. I do need to make sure I keep taking away its purples, though. The main reason is it's going to be healing. Of course, Mercy gives itself health, or the weakest enemy health, and we definitely want to make sure we have the damage to be able to kill it. We do have to use a cast and a skull now, though, because of that. But as long as we can get our mana, and come on, stop taking these things. As long as we get our mana back, we should be fine. Mercy won't do anything with our cast right here. We'll just take that so it doesn't take skulls. Of course, we do have to watch, make sure it doesn't take too many skulls, or it can still kill us. It's not over until it's dead. Let's see. We'll take red right there. That's, even if it didn't surge, that would have been enough mana due to our banner. There we go. There's the skull that we needed. Now all we need is... Never mind. Oh, I forgot. She's divine. If you haven't fully traded... I almost forgot about that. One shot. She's divine. So we actually did 4 times damage there. 2 times from the divine Slayer, and 2 times from her being damaged. So I almost forgot about that. Alright, I completely forgot about that. So that's why we killed her. If you didn't have him traded, that would have taken a little bit longer. But fully traded, yeah, 4 times damage to damage divines. So that just happened. And that is all the teams on consoles. If you guys have any other questions about the game or team builds or anything of the like, feel free to leave in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.